Awesome. Okay. And I'm also just going to quickly mute y'all because otherwise I'm going to be squirrely. Cool. Okay. If you are not muted, could you mute? I think everybody's muted. Awesome. So welcome to our last Tuesday in April. How? Not sure. That's crazy, actually. Like, time flies. Can you guys just give me a real quick thumbs up if you can hear me well-ish? Okay, so I wanted to do this call as kind of like a little bit of an informal. I just have some notes here that I'm going to riff off of, but I've been getting a lot of questions lately about inviting, about scripts, about follow-ups, about objections, and I just kind of wanted to go through kind of like the who and the how of all of those sections, just so you can maybe take something away from this that you can then apply really quickly to your business. I am all about tangible steps and tips that you can then take and plug in ASAP, because like I talked about on my call yesterday, lots of coaches get analysis paralysis. You like take in all this information and then you overwhelm yourself so you don't ever take action. And I see it all the time. And the best thing you can do for yourself as a coach is just start getting quick wins. That's why we push new coaches to hit Success Club right out the gate. That's why we push new coaches to hit Emerald right out of the gate, because when you get that quick win, you realize, oh, this isn't actually hard. It's simple. I just need to do it. And so I think a lot of coaches get stuck in that non-doing, and they get stuck in the need to like figure it all out and make sure they have all their ducks in a row. And lots of us that get into this are like helpers and OCD and list makers. So, but it's kind of problematic when you have all this information in these color-coded binders and everything's laminated and you haven't sent a single invite. So this is going to be about the action. So let's talk about inviting really quickly. I would love to know, this is like straight accountability moment, and I know it's only Tuesday, and I'm going to participate too. With a show of hands, who has sent one invite this week? Awesome. Keep your hands up. Who has sent 2 invites this week? Who sent 5? Who sent 10? 15? 20? 30? 40? 50? 60? I'm so impressed. 70? Damn, that's awesome. Okay, so did you notice how most of us were like 5 or 10? And like I said, the week is still young, but just to see for accountability there are people who have sent 70 invites and it's only Tuesday. Go Autumn. If you have been able to do that already, that is so clutch. And I just think that we get caught up on these numbers and we're like, okay, well, I'll send 2. I'll send 1 invite and then that's it. That's my power hour. Girl, you could send 20 invites in 15 minutes, but you just got to get over this. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest mental block. So my top tips for inviting, number 1, you should be inviting the people who are liking and watching your stuff, plain and simple. If you're trying to figure out fancy different hashtags to find new people and trying to make these crazy lists of people to message later on, just go to your Instagram stories that you are diligently posting on every single day, right? Because you're consistent with your vitals and you're sharing about your workouts, you're sharing about your Shakeology, you're sharing your personal development, you're sharing some things behind the scenes of coaching. You're sharing, hey, this is what I'm going through today. Do you guys relate? Put a poll option. And people are watching that. And because they're watching that, they know what you're doing. And you're sending a message to them that says something like this. Hey, Sarah, I see you watching my stories. Haha. Thanks for supporting my stuff. This is literally the invite that I send sometimes. Hey, Sarah, I see you watching my stories. Little eyeball emojis. Thanks for supporting my stuff. Have you been thinking about doing a program with me? Let me know and I'd love to send you more info. Boom, invite. You can copy and paste that and put the first person's first name, and you could literally have 20 invites sent in 15 minutes. And then from there, when that person responds, and most of them will, that's when I have my conversations. That's when I make my real connections. That's when I develop relationships. Another one that isn't as like, oh, I don't know, I don't feel comfortable. You could say something like, hey, Sarah, I see you watching my stories. I know sometimes people just like to watch for entertainment, but just in case you're nervous, just in case you're curious about the programs that I offer, I wanted to reach out and start the conversation up. Have you been thinking about joining me? It's just so It's just chill. You just invite them. You just say, hey, I see you. I see you as a person. Do you want to be a part of this? I can honestly tell you guys, since I started sending these kind of invites, like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 people respond with, oh, hey, haha, yeah, I actually am nervous and excited, but I didn't want to reach out. Like, most people just need you to initiate that. And that's why it's so important that you are inviting in people's inboxes rather than just on social media. If you're just putting up posts on social media that are saying, I have 5 spots, I have 10 spots, and you're hearing crickets and nobody's joining, and you're like, well, what the shit? Why isn't anybody joining? It's because you're not inviting people in their inboxes, you know? So inviting people who are liking and watching your stuff, super important. Send voice notes, send little video clips of yourself. Who cares if you're a hot mess express with a bun on top of your head and pizza on your face? Like, that person will appreciate you for showing up real as a human and hearing the intonation in your voice. I'm going to geek out for a real quick second here. Do you guys know that us as humans, the way that we understand language, we actually, like, the words that we use make up like maybe 20% of how we take in language. But our intonation and body language and the tone of our voice and the excitement in our voice, that makes up like 75% of how we understand language. So when I'm sending voice notes, they are so much more well received. I don't even know if I'm speaking correctly right now. I feel kind of sick. They're so much more well received than if I'm just typing, because people, you know, when you can like misread a text, you can misread an email. If I'm in a shitty mood, which isn't often, but if I am, I could read somebody's text that's like, yo, I see you watching my stories. Do you want to join my group? And I'd be like, no, you know? But if somebody sent me a voice note and they were like, hey, Marie, I hope you're having an awesome day. I was thinking about you. First of all, thank you. I was thinking about you. I have 5 spots left in my group. Do you want to be one of those 5 people? I would love to do this program together. I legitimately think you would love it. Would you not be more inclined to join me if I sent you a voice note saying like, yo, first name, I've been thinking about you. Do you want to join? So just personalizing the invite is so important. You guys, keep it so simple. Can you just give me a little hand if you're following and if this is like resonating with anybody ish? Okay, cool. Thank you. Chris is like, yep. Awesome. Okay. Truth bomb. If you want to hit Success Club 10, you got to send a minimum of 10 invites a day, at least 4 to 5 days a week. It's all in the numbers. And the thing about this, have you guys ever heard of the funnel, like keeping your funnel full? Okay. The reason why that's so important is because like you want to think of your funnel like, think of it like a 2-liter pop bottle. Anybody that drank booze in high school knows what I'm talking about. You got this like 2-liter pop bottle funnel. Yes, Jamie. And you can only drop 1 or 2 or a couple people at a time, right? Because you're only one person. So like you can only sign up a couple people at a time. And if you don't have anybody in your 2-liter pop bottle funnel, you don't have anybody to drop down. And when they drop down, what I'm referring to is they're signing up, right? They're either becoming a coach, they're joining you with a challenge pack or a program or a Beachbody nutritional, etc. So if you keep that funnel full, if you've got all these conversations and these new invites of story watchers, if you're thanking people daily for liking your posts, if you are reaching out and you're adding new friends every single day, you are keeping that funnel full. And when you keep that funnel full, guess what? People keep dropping. And that's how you hit Success Club. But if you're sending 3 invites a day and you're like, well, check, did my power hour, waiting for Success Club 50, it won't happen. It's just the numbers aren't there. They don't make sense logistically, right? So just remember that it is a numbers game. It's a people business, but it's a numbers game. And I see the chat blowing up. I'm totally going to go back in there afterwards, but I will get squirrely if I go in there right now. Okay, let's talk about follow-ups. Who are you following up with? Are you following up? That's a good question. Does anybody keep a follow-up list? I hope everybody. Okay. So it's super important. This is like, if you take away nothing from this call, write this down. I must make a follow-up list. Because the fortune is in the follow-up. You guys know that quote. It's so true. The people that are on my team now, the people who are joining my challenge groups now are people that I have been talking to for 6 months to a year. It's just the math. You know, I had a girl join me the other day. She lives across the hall from me. I've literally been asking her for 1 year. A year. And she's been just like, nope, this excuse wasn't the right time, money, et cetera, et cetera. And I just kept after her. I was like, sweet, is it this month? Are you ready? Is it this month? And I just followed up with her. Brittany's smiling because I totally did the same to her. Courtney Moody on our team is a diamond coach on our team. I literally messaged her for 8 months straight. Krista was like, yo, I'm a straight discount coach. Do not talk to me about coaching. And then like a year into discount coaching, she was like, actually, let's talk about it. So you just never know. You can't discount anybody out. You just have to follow up and provide the opportunity. Your job isn't to make people successful. Your job is just to invite them and to follow up with them and prep them with the tools and the sign up. That's your job. You know, your job is to lay the path. And what they do with it is up to them. We are independent Team Beachbody coaches, right? You can support them, absolutely. You can love them, absolutely. But you can't make somebody successful in a fitness program or as a coach. You just have to open up the door and show them the path. Okay, really, really important. So following up, I keep a list in I made a bound notebook, and it's literally just got the Success Club system tracker. Okay, I just made it black and white, and a contact list, and it just goes back and forth. Contact list, Success Club system tracker, contact list, Success Club system tracker. Say that 20 times fast. That was kind of challenging. And I keep a follow-up list of people that I'm chatting with, and I put in the little notes section, I put the date that we chatted, okay? And I put some little notes beside their name while I'm chatting with them, because I'm not going to remember after the fact what we chatted about, what I thought of them, if I thought they were a potential coach. So I just make little like jots, like I'll write PC if they're a potential coach. I'll write nurse if they're a nurse, because my whole team is freaking nurses. So I know that that's a potential coach. If they're pregnant, I'll write having baby in June, right? So like, I know when to talk to these people. I know, okay, well, like 6 to 10 weeks after she has that baby, she's probably going to want to start getting active again. She's probably going to need some support. So I'm going to reach out then. Okay. Chris was laughing at me. I know these things because I keep these follow-up lists, right? If somebody gives me a money objection, I write the little money symbol. So just making little notes beside that person, if they're a personal trainer, whatever. I just make little notes because then it helps me to follow up with them. Whatever their excuse was or their reason why they didn't join, I'll write that down. So then when I go to follow up with them, I'll say, hey, Vanessa, I know last time wasn't great. You were really strapped for cash with your car breaking down. I just wanted to swing back around here and invite you. There's a sale on. Are you interested in joining us this month? Right? And because I listened and because I made that note about that person, Vanessa's going to be like, wow, thank you. I feel heard and seen as a human. I'm actually more inclined to join you now. And yes, I did just get my taxes back, so I will join you. Okay? So that's how that works. So follow-ups, super, super simple. One follow-up that's been working really well for me, because sometimes we get ghosted. And I don't want you to think because I seek success or other coaches in this call see success that we don't get ghosted. We get ghosted twice as much as you, because we're sending out probably twice as many invites. Okay, that's just the name of the game. The only reason you're successful in this is if you're inviting people and showing up. So when I'm getting ghosted and I can feel it, and I'm like, oh, I got to send one more message, and this message better be clutch. Otherwise this person is gone and they are not going to respond back. And then it's weird and I can't message them again because there's been 3 messages unreplied. I say something like this. Hey, first name, always first name. Okay. Or however you speak. Hey, girlfriend. Hey, whatever. Hey, friend. I really don't want to bug you, but I also want to let you know that I haven't given up on you. Are you still thinking of joining me? Just say the word and I'll stop messaging you. But otherwise, I'd really like to chat about you joining this group. Hey, I don't want to bug you, but I'm also not giving up on you. I cannot tell you how many people have responded back to that message with like a, wow, thank you. I actually do need your support. I'm going through a really hard time right now. This is what's going on. And then I just say with compassion, I totally understand. Is next month a better time? Would you like me to circle back in a couple weeks? You know, and people respond well to that because I'm not being catty. I'm not being defensive. I'm just saying, I have this thing. Are you interested? I have this thing. Are you interested? Is now a better time? Is now a better time? Some people legitimately don't have the money right now. Some people, it's a really bad time for them. They cannot even fathom putting one more thing on their list. So just following up with them and keeping that list is so key. All right. Okay. My last little section, and then I'm going to go to the chat and we can open it up for questions and a little back and forth. I want to talk about objections really quick because this is one that people are like, Marie, I've been getting these objections. People don't want to drink Shaco. They think it's too expensive. And the thing about objections, this is tough love and it's just true. It's just a truth bomb. The objections that you are receiving in your inbox are reflective of your insecurities. Let that sink in for a second. Your objections that you're receiving in your inbox are reflective of any insecurities that you have around the programs, around the products, around the price, around coaching, around your abilities. Okay, so when you step up and you finally realize, holy shit, Shakeology is such a good deal. I don't know if you guys all know this, but as somebody who has bought those ingredients separately and like been in the natural wellness space for a long time, self-advocating on that, like the natural health spectrum, I used to buy Shashandra for $26 a thing. I used to buy ashwagandha by itself. I used to buy maca by itself. The fact that we get all of these things in Shakeology in the highest dose, from the highest quality, tested, certified, for $4.80 Canadian a serving. Are you kidding me? It's such a great deal. And because I know that it's such a great deal, I don't get objections like that in my inbox anymore. Does that make sense? I'm kind of getting a little more like on like an energetic level here, but what you think about, you create more of in your life. So if you are scared to talk about coaching and then you try and bring up coaching, it's like people can feel your vibe. They can feel your energy around it. So if you're not confident talking about it, you got to change your language. You got to face it. You got to face it till you make it. You know, I don't want to say fake it, but show up and develop your belief. And you develop your belief by reading, by going into the FAQ, by doing the programs yourself, by surrounding yourself with like-minded people on calls like this, you know, by going to Summit, by doing these things that start to build this belief. And then you get to a point where you are so confident in your stature, you are so confident in your conversations that any objective you get, or objection, sorry, it doesn't matter, because you just say, oh, I get it. Susan is just giving me an objection because she's trying to figure out how this could work in her life. And then you can use that person's excuse as the very reason why they should join, which is the coolest experience, you know? And not only does that show you them that you're listening to them, but it also gives them a little bit of a different perspective. And I'm not saying that all the time when I battle somebody's objection, that they join, but more times than not, if they have an objection, I'm able to handle it really well because my confidence is so unshakable in what we're offering here. Does that make sense? And your confidence is going to increase and skyrocket as your competence does, and your competence will increase and skyrocket as your practice does. So practice facing objections, okay, which means chat with more people, invite more people, follow up with more people, so you have more opportunities to practice talking about objections and switching people's perspectives. My last little tip here about objections, I keep wanting to say objective. My last little tip here, actually there's two. Number one is always be kind. Always, always be kind. Okay, so if somebody's kind of being shitty, people are sometimes. If somebody is, just always remember that, like, you don't know what they're going through, you know, and they might have had a really bad experience with a Beachbody coach or program or product or customer service agent or something before. They might just be having a really bad day. Somebody close to them might have just died. Like, you literally don't know people's stuff. So always be kind. Okay. And when somebody is being, I keep saying shitty, sorry, hopefully there's no children listening, but if somebody's being shitty to me, because it happens sometimes, I will kill them with kindness all day long. And then I will just say, no worries. I just wanted you to know that my door is always open if you change your mind. I hope you have an awesome week. I wish you nothing but the best. Always. Even if they're like, F you, you suck, Beachbody sucks. I'm like, no worries. Totally get it. My door is always open. You know, and like on a rare occasion, I might block them and then secretly be like, welcome to my block party. But, but just always be kind. It's so, so important, you know. And my final tip here before I'll go into the little chat. I know I see it blowing up and there's maybe some questions, is detach from the outcome. If you're always keeping that 2-liter funnel, if you're always keeping your funnel full, you're not concerned and you're not putting all your eggs in one basket and like waiting for that one person to sign up. And if that person doesn't sign up or they return their pack, God forbid, you're not like missing Success Club on month 11 or 12, you know, because you always have your funnel full because you're always talking to new people. You're not just waiting for one date in the month to sign people up. People get access to BOD within 24 hours of purchasing. They get access to Ultimate Portion Fix within 24 hours of purchasing. So they can start on any given Monday or any given Wednesday. You know, gone are the days when they have to wait for that Monday to start. You can get them started on a Saturday. It's their journey. When they started is when they started, and you hold them accountable. So I hope that helped. Those are just some of my like kind of best practices, top tips, love bombs on invites, follow-ups, and objections. I'm going to go into the chat just to see any questions. And if you guys have specific questions, feel free to unmute yourself here and just ask. Okay. Oh, I see. You guys are counting Beachbody week, Thursday to Wednesday. We overcome.
I'm just going to share something while you're looking there.
Yes.
One thing that I found super effective in my follow-ups is I have my list of people. I go through it all the time. My clients from March go to April. My clients from April go to May. Those people who are consistently watching you all the time, you always know they're watching your story every day. They're liking every post. Hi. I know that I'm launching a group. If I know I'm launching a group on a Monday, I'm sharing about it on a Friday. On Sunday, before that group launches, I'm sending a voice note to those people and saying, look, I'm opening this group up on Monday. Before I launch it to the public, before you see it on my stories, I want to give you first access to it. So many people feel so happy that you thought of them in that capacity. And I have a lot of people who are like, yeah, you know what? I do want to join. And I'm getting early access to it, right? Like they're there before everyone else. They feel like they have your undivided attention. And I'm just finding that a lot of people are really responding well to that.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing it. And the voice note, again, you guys, voice notes, so powerful and so simple. Elizabeth said, how often do you follow up? So sometimes I follow up like 2 or 3 days a week. Sometimes I follow up 1 day a week. You know, I'm not perfect with it. I just try to make sure that at least 1 day a week, I'm sending those follow-up messages so I'm staying in that person's inbox. I should mention too that when somebody's interested in coaching, I'm very quick to say, do you have time today or tomorrow to jump on a FaceTime? Like I'm really quick to be like, let's jump on a FaceTime and chat for 15, 20 and I can answer your questions. Because when I can talk to somebody face to face on a FaceTime, they are so much more likely to feel at ease. I can answer their questions. They can even sign up on the phone with me. So that's a practice that I try to do. And the more that I do that, if you guys just puked thinking about having a phone call with somebody about coaching, the more often that I do that, the more often I meet face to face, the better I get at it. I met for tea with a girl today, talked about Shakeology and IBS. She's going to sign up. I talked on FaceTime to this pro golf girl today, and she's going to sign up with UPF and coaching. Like it's just, you just need to put yourself out there, be a human, and practice. It's just about the practice, you know. Okay, how many invites do you do a day? I shoot for 20. Some days, like yesterday and today, I send like 5 because yesterday was that call. I was preoccupied. Today I was kind of sick. So tomorrow I'm definitely sending like 20 to 30. So not perfect with it, but I try to do between 10 and 20 a day for sure, because it's so easy, right? You can just copy and paste the same little script to people who are watching your story, and that's an invite. A follow-up can also be considered an invite sometimes. Sending little voice notes can be considered an invite. So okay, does anybody have any other questions? Can you speak on tips for getting working coaches that are as passionate as all of us? Lead by example. Be the example and they show up. That's my tip for finding working coaches.
I just have something to say about the video and the voice memos.
Yes.
I've been doing them forever because I actually really don't type fast, and I can speak way faster than I can type. And it's actually proven to be, I guess, a really good thing because people like that connection. They really do. And I'm super comfortable. I send really random videos, like not ridiculous, but like, so they see me exactly as I am. And I get that feedback a lot from people that are super comfortable to open up with me because I'm just myself. And it's kind of just come out of necessity. I honestly type, like, you guys can all laugh at me when you see me at Summit because I'll be typing with one thumb, and that's just the way I am. My kids think I look ridiculous, but it is just me, and I don't care. And I send voice memos and videos always.
And that's
So
great,
that was just,
Katie.
I know, and it just came out of like, just because I do type sometimes, but it takes me a long time, and I'm like, I got to get this stuff done. So anyhow, that's my little tidbit of help for everybody.
That's great, though. You adapt to what you need. Okay, I'm just going to answer a couple quick questions here in the chat. Morg says, do you look at your messages to them quick to see if you invited them before? Always. And I always double check that I spelled their name right, because once you send that message, it is gone. Oh, yeah. Once you send that message, it's gone. And I actually learned that the hard way on Facebook when I was a baby coach, and I copy and pasted a couple invites, and I put the wrong girl's name to the wrong girl, and she got back to me and was not happy with me. So make sure you double check their name. It's really important. Kendra says, on those one-on-one calls, what specific things do you cover about coaching? I just have a conversation. Like, it's nothing crazy. I honestly just open it up. I just like ask them how their week is going. We kind of find some common ground. And then I just say, okay, I'm super pumped to talk to you about coaching. What are your main questions? Why are you excited about it? And I just ask questions. When you can get somebody else to talk about it, then you can fill in after the fact, but if I were to just like go off about why they need to do ultimate portion fix or something, and then it doesn't apply to them. So just ask questions. Be more interested than interesting. Okay. Would you send your initial invite as a voice note or wait till they respond once first? Either or. There is no right answer, you guys. Like I shared on the call yesterday, one of the reasons why I overcomplicated my business over the last couple of years and had to really simplify this last year and really work hard at it is because there is no one right way. And I think we want it to. We love being dualistic. Like, we love the black and white, but it's gray. It's super gray and super awesome. So it's just really important to remember that what works for one person might not work for another person. If you're like scared shitless to send a voice note, just type. You have that option too, So it's just really important to just use the things that work for you, and don't try to appropriate everybody else's stuff, because you're just going to end up overwhelming yourself and then getting into that like analysis paralysis mode and not taking action and not seeing success. And then you're going to end up quitting coaching because it's not working for you, and I just love that quote so much. Nobody fails at network marketing. You either succeed or you give up. That's the truth of that. So, okay, last one. Brianna says, if we are still early in our journey, such as a new coach who doesn't have physical results, how can we converse with them that we are proof of the product now? So first of all, you have literally like thousands of transformation photos and testimonials and stories that you can share. There's a story and a coach for everything. Somebody who has IBS, somebody who has cancer and beat it, somebody who overcame a death in the family and made it successful, somebody who was bankrupt and made it successful. So use Team Beachbody coaches and clients' stories, ask their permission, but use their stories. And then I really want you to think about what you've gained from this other than the physical transformation. Like, my body, I weigh the same weight, you guys, like almost to the pound of what I did when I started coaching. But my body is totally different, right? Composition wise. But the thing that's changed the most for me is my mental health, is my like community, a sense of like a girl gang. Do you see how many people we get to have on this call with each other? That's amazing. Jesse put up such a good post today of like a picture of all of us from the cruise. And I was just like, man, like how badass is that we have this like group of welcoming, wonderful, loving human beings who accept us for us. And in what other industry do a bunch of women get together like this and like rah each other and love on each other no matter what, So anyways, okay, Morgan said, I had zero physical transformation, became a challenger and a coach at the same time. I invited to do this with me. I was not an expert. Yes, 100%. I'm actually so glad you said that, because that's what you can say, especially as a new coach. I always tell my new coaches, like, just ask people to do it with you. Say, I don't really know all the answers either, but I'm doing this. I'm super excited about it. Do you want to do it with me? Right? Because then when you take yourself out of the expert position and like just into the same realm, you feel a little less intimidated. So I hope that helped you guys. It is 7:30, so we're going to jump into the diamond call next year. And yeah, if you have any questions about that, feel free to post them in the Success Clubbers page or any of the team pages, and just tag one of us. Be happy to answer questions after the fact. Yes. So it's a joy to be here. Oh, it's a joy to see all of you guys. Until next week. And until, for the people who aren't quite diamond, who are jumping off, like, hit diamond so you can be part of this mastermind call after the fact. Would love to connect with you. Well, hey, diamonds. Shiny humans.
Great call.
Thanks, buddy. Despite my smoker voice.
That was awesome, Marie.
Oh, I actually forgot. Hence why you guys got the graphic at like 2 p.m. today.
I was like, who's doing the call tonight?
I wasn't sure. I knew you had lots going on, so I was just like, hey, Marie, I think it's you.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you mean you wanted it by Sunday? Whoops. Oh, Kylie Crees, first diamond call. Welcome to the club, girl. That's so exciting. That's so exciting. Anybody else's? There's a lot of people in here, man. We got some diamonds in this downline.
Our diamond crew is growing.
So awesome. So awesome. Okay, want to be mindful of your guys' time also, and I've got to chat with my diamonds after this, so timing is not my strong suit. I will tell you that much. It's the one thing that I really struggle with. I have get one more thing done syndrome, so here we are. But I wanted to basically open this up as kind of a like a roundtable discussion that has a little bit of structure with 3 main questions. So we're heading into May. Tomorrow is May 1st, which is crazy. Not sure actually how that happened or when that happened, but what's up? It's May. And that means that we are midway through quarter 2. And for anybody that doesn't set goals quarterly, highly recommend it. I used to set goals annually, and I just felt like from January to December, there's way too much space and wiggle room, and it just felt too far off. So I always what is the word I'm looking for? I underestimated how much time I actually had until the end of the year. And since I started setting quarterly goals, so every 3 months, I actually set them up in sprints, like a 12-week sprint, because you got 12 weeks, 12 weeks, 12 weeks, 12 weeks. I've been hitting the things that I want to accomplish because they're forefront in my mind and on my paper in my planner. So setting quarterly goals, super good idea if you don't already. So here we are. It's going to be May 1st tomorrow. And I just wanted to kind of do like a little check-in, do a little gut check-in with you guys. So if you have a piece of paper and a pen in front of you, I'm going to ask you to write a couple things down for yourself. And I just feel like there's like a lot of power to be had if you do the activity in the moment. So I'm just going to ask you 3 simple questions to answer for yourself. And then I would love to open it up to the last question. So everybody ready? Got some paper and a pen? Bunch of bosses on here. Awesome. Okay. So as you know, we grow and evolve as we work our businesses, right? And everybody on this call is at different stages in their life, different stages in their business. When you start as a coach, you have a why, and that why evolves over time. And I think a lot of the time we forget to check back in and figure out what it is and if it's shifted. And so we lose sight of it, and then a lot of people become disenchanted when coaching gets hard because it does get hard. It's a people business. It takes patience, it takes tenacity, it takes discipline, and if you don't have your why front and center, if you don't recognize exactly why you're doing it, a lot of the time people can give up. So I wanted to ask you question number 1. What is your why right now in this season of your coaching business? And I'll give you 5 minutes to write it down. I got a little time cube, so I'm going to set it. I want you to get as specific as possible with this. And if you have like a 2-word why, I'd also encourage you to put down, what are your quarter 2 goals? What are your like right now goals, May, June, your goals before summit here? Write those down so they are front and center so you can see them. So what is your why and what are your quarter 2 goals right now here before summit? What are you pushing to make happen in your life, personally and professionally? I think it's also really important to revisit your why and revisit your goals, because as you hit the goals that you set for yourself at some point that you thought were like these big, hairy, scary, audacious things, as you start to hit them, you need to readjust your sails and set new ones. So I'll just share with you guys, like, I wanted to hit 5-star diamond elite for literally 4 years. And so last year when our team accomplished that, I was so happy that we had accomplished that, but I also felt empty at the end of the year because I didn't have a next step. I didn't know where to go. So when January came, and like, I'm a goal setter, list maker. When January came, I didn't have any goals to write down for my coaching business, and it kind of scared me. You know, so it's really important to just dig deep in each season, and as you hit your goals, recalibrate and set new ones for yourself. When I sat down and I thought, okay, like, what would light me up right now? What would make me so fulfilled to do? And I set those new goals that pushed me a little bit more. Then I got re-excited for my business. So just keeping that why front and center is so important. Keep it somewhere where you can read it. And that question I asked yesterday in the call, I know I keep referring to it because it's in my mind and I'm so pumped on it still. Like, if Carl Deichler called you tomorrow and said, yo, Beachbody's going away, you can't have the workouts, you can't have Shakeology, you can't have the coaching opportunity, sorry, challenge groups, nah, you can't have them anymore, none of the connections you've made, you can't have any of it anymore, it's going away. How would your life be different? Like, just keep that question somewhere where you can read it, because it's so easy to slide into taking things for granted. And I think when we get into a groove and we're like, inviting's hard and posting's hard and the algorithms change and people are ghosting me, we lose sight of how simple, joyful, and amazing this opportunity is. So just really ask yourself that question and keep that why front and center. Keep it front and center. I was sick today. If I would have had to go to teach, it would have been terrible. I would have gotten more sick, you know, because I wouldn't have got as much sleep. I wouldn't have gotten to sleep in. As it was, I got to finish my book on my patio in the sun. I got to watch Ultimate Portion Fix videos in my pajamas. I did a workout when I wanted to. I ate when I wanted to. I went to the bathroom when I wanted to. That's something you don't get to do as a teacher, you know? And I really reflected today. I was just like, dang, like, I'm rich because of this moment, because of this freedom, you know? Financial aside, like, I'm not making what I envision myself making just yet, but I'm rich based on having this time freedom. So just really keep that front and center. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. Question number 2. Looking at those goals that you've set for quarter 2, for now until summit, write this down. What do I have to do daily to make this happen? What do I have to do daily to make this happen? And if your days are super busy right now and super full, I want you to consider this quote from Brendan Burchard from his event. He said, if you want 30% more productivity in your life, you got to get rid of 30% of the stuff. So if you got goals, you got to figure out, what do I have to do daily? And if I don't have room in my day, I got to make room. Because if these goals are important to me, if this why is important to me, then I am showing up daily and doing these things. So what are the things you got to do daily? Cassie says, I love how you always get us to write things down in every call. So much more effective. Well, I am an English teacher by trade. Do you guys know what's crazy though? When you try and just think things through, your mind outsmarts you every time. When you put pen to paper, there is like literally a different learning happening, and it's a different commitment to memory. So when you get your thoughts onto paper, it clears up this jumble. That's why I always share about my morning pages. If you guys don't know, like every morning I just write like 2 to 3 pages of just stream of consciousness, bleh, like literally garbage from my mind. Like I dreamt about this. This is what it was. This seems crazy. I'm mad at so and so because they did this or didn't do, like just petty dream weird stuff. I just get it out of my head every single morning, because when you clear that space, then you can think. When you make space, you leave room for better things. So writing it down is so important. Okay, that's number 2. Finally, number 3, and then I want to talk about this so we can kind of give some feedback here. Number 3, what are you letting distract you right now? Are you choosing avoidance or action? What are you letting distract you right now? Are you choosing avoidance or action? Okay, so I would love to open up this last one. I would love to open up the conversation about what are you letting distract you right now, and what are you going to do about it. I'm very proactive, so if you're going to bring something to the table that is distracting you, that you're letting run it, don't let this be a vent sesh of this is what's distracting me because my life's really hard right now. Tell me, I want to know, what are you letting distract you right now? What are you choosing to be distracted by, and how are you going to correct that for yourself? And I'll go first, and then whoever wants to go after, just unmute yourself. But right now, my main distraction is social media, which is like kills me because we're on social media, you know. But if I go in there, man, it is like a rabbit hole, and I find myself, I check the notifications, and then I go to my email, and then I go to my Facebook Messenger, and then I check my Instagram messages, and then like I do that. And by doing that, I'm literally training my brain to pay attention less. Like these are stats, these are scientific stats. I'm training my brain and my attention to be fleeting by going into this inbox and then this inbox and then this inbox. So what I've had to do, and the thing that I'm correcting, is I'm using this little dinky time cube that I yell at every time it goes off, because I'm like, what? That wasn't 15 minutes. What? And I have to use that, and I have to work by this little list. Where's my little list to share with you guys? It says exactly what to do. Oh, see, now I don't even know where it is. Oh, here. Daily power hour. Like I have a checklist to work from, but it's like 5 minutes, thank yous, 5 minutes, new friends, 5 minutes, happy birthdays. Like I have to like set my little timer every 5 minutes for those little tasks so that I actually get them done, because otherwise it's like, oh yeah, I should have made that graphic for the team call tonight. Oh yeah, shit, I got to make my new coach calendar for May. Oh yeah, right. I'll get back to so-and-so. Oh, she wants to FaceTime right now? Sweet. Oh, so-and-so wants to message me right now? Oh my God, that email, I forgot. And then you have all these tabs open. I don't know if you guys relate to this, but you get all these tabs open in your brain, and then you feel like you're going nuts. So that's what I'm working on right now. So, okay, I'm going to shut up. I would love to open up the floor if anybody wants to share what they're being distracted by right now and what they're doing to correct it for themselves.
What up, ladies?
So,
Okay. The old BS story of not being worthy, trusting people, all this stuff. And for those of you who don't know, it was like my big, hairy, scary goal to shoot for 6-star. And it actually wasn't that scary. I have the girls there in place. And I spent all of April watching my sponsorship drill down, waiting for somebody to pop a coach. And I forgot about my fucking business. I apologize. Sorry, it came out. So this weekend, I turned off my phone at 6 o'clock every night, turned it off. Emotional detox. strongly recommend it if you're a human that is over 18 years of age and has feelings. Purchase it. And yeah, it's necessary. And this might come off weird, but I fired my downline this week. And what I mean by that is I am no longer dragging people. I am only working with people who hit Success Club 5 and Rank Advance and are showing up on social media. If people are telling me I want to work my business, show me. And that's the only thing that's coming up, because guys, we are independent Beachbody coaches. If you guys have not watched the Danielle Natoni, I think it's like the 5-star call by go to Sydney Maurer, and then Danielle Natoni from last week. I'll share the link in our Dynasty or in our page. Guys, it's fire. You just have to do it. So I'll shut up now. But yeah, fired my downline, got over my bullshit goals. Watch me fly in April. May.
And Britt, I think there's something to be said too, because everybody on this call is like, I think we all mostly know each other. Like 1 year ago to April, just for the record, Brittany left her terrible abusive boyfriend and moved. So 1 year, just saying, growth takes time. It's not linear. So compassion and grace for yourself, my friend. Sometimes stuff comes up. It took me like 8 years to overcome my stuff. So just be compassionate towards yourself, because, you know, that was a big change and it's only been a year. Anybody else? Morks.
I can go next. Yeah. So I'm proud to say I'm actually getting over this in the past month, I would say. At this stage of my business, I was getting super caught up and distracted by groups and messages. Literally, that's all I did all day long. And to me, that was working my business. And I was working upwards, you guys, this was before Ella, like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day on Beachbody, only in messages and only in groups. I'm like, okay, something's wrong here. So about 1 month ago, I printed off 52 of these and I said, this is how I'm working my business from now on. This is all I'm doing during my day. My groups and messages come last, because those are other people's agendas. I got to grow. Like Marie said, I'm all about the funnel. I got to fill my funnel first, then I'll deal with the people slowly dropping down. I have never worked less in my business and got better results in the past 6 years. So I am a happy camper.
That's so clutch. That's literally what I did too. Like, I don't know how, but I started working these like 8-hour days with coaching. And I was like, well, if I'm doing 8-hour days, how is anybody else going to do a power half hour? So that's so clutch. Cassie, just to share, like, it's literally the Success Club tracker, but all I did was I just broke it down into segments. I don't know if you can, well, you can't probably see it, but I just literally, like, I broke it down to 5-minute thank yous, 5-minute new friends, 5-minute happy birthday messages, 5-minute adding new Instagram followers, take a break, and then do 30 minutes of inviting my story watchers, 15 minutes of follow-ups, take a break. And then in the afternoon, I go back and I answer messages and check out groups and notifications, what Morgan just said. I got a fruit fly. Anyways, but yeah, just the Success Club tracker. BAT, it's the best. Okay, well, we've got... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just as somebody who wants to be full-time sometime, obviously I look up to you full-time coaches, and, you know, we sit back, I run 3 businesses, and I'm like, oh, you know, when I'm a full-time coach, I'll have time for that. Or when I'm a full-time coach, I'll have time for that. And now after your call yesterday, and just by following the BAT, I'm like, we don't need all of that fluff, right? Mm-hmm. I think about, you know, how that looks to other people looking in, and it's not right, because nobody wants to work 8 hours a day. Nobody wants to be like, look at all that she can do. I want to do all of those things, because we don't want to do all of those things. So I agree with Morgan. I've been doing the BAT hands down the best. I also started delegating things. Like I said, I don't want to appear like I can do it all, because I don't want to be doing it all. So not necessarily in this business, but my other two, I released Instagram passwords. I gave up the reins and I just said, I don't care if it's perfect, just do it so I don't have to do it. And it feels like $1,000,000.
That's so awesome, Jamie. And I love that you said that too, because it's true. Like Morgan said, it's a slippery slope going full time. That's literally my experience. I was so busy before, had no free time, like no free time. So I had no time to scroll. I had no time to compare myself. It was like, okay, just post, invite people, and host a challenge group. That's all I had time for. So I was successful, you know? And also, you are going to appreciate this quote. I'm just pulling out all my Brandon Bouchard quotes because it's coming out of here. Paying for help is called team building. So there's that one. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, if there's any other questions, we've got about 5 minutes here just to keep consistent with the time. If you guys want to share, if it's not about something that's distracting you, if you wanted to share what you have to do daily even, or something that came up from the Emerald call, if you had something that was like an aha and you want to share it with everybody, I'm sure you're not the only one, so it would be helpful to share those kind of moments.
Can I share something that happened in my business last week?
100%.
And I've really felt like I needed to talk to other diamonds, and so I did reach out to Virginia, Morgan, and Tracy, which was very helpful. And I had a really big week last week. I almost quit coaching. Nobody knows this. Like, I really hit the wall with some stuff, and I don't want to get into details, but it made me want to quit. Like, that's how bad it was. And what I discovered about me, and I have to figure out how to clean this up and fix it, is I came into this business with a 30, well, not quite 30 year, about a 25-year career in fitness. And when I jumped in, I've hit Success Club every month since I've started. And I just jumped in. I did not do a coach training, nothing. Like I've just been going. So then I have this team of coaches who I didn't launch right. And I fucked up, you know. I'm going to learn from it. And I've had a growth week. Like, I have been listening to so much stuff. You know, Keith Callahan's call. Okay. That was me. That was the girl he was describing. I mean, it wasn't me, but I show up. I thought I was busy. I thought I was doing everything I needed to do. I thought I was loving on my coaches. And I am a very, 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 very good motivator. I need to work on leadership. So that's my goal for Summit, is to become a better leader and really dive in. I had never worked with, I've been self-employed. I've never had an employee in well, I did when I ran a gym, but they were 18 and they scrubbed toilets and washed equipment. Like, they didn't run my business. I've ran my business. And so for me, I really value you guys, and I really look up to you guys. And I just want to say thank you that you're all there. And I know I can lean and message any of you if I needed to. And just want to say thank you, because I was really close to being done. And thankfully I have a husband who is a manager and not as emotional as Katie, and he was able to talk me down. And so, but that call from Keith, if you have not watched it, that live, it was golden. I've just been like, I love challenge groups, you guys. I just ran boot camp and I had 30 people there, and I'm like, we were rocking. We had a great class, but I have to learn how to coach. It's a different business, and it's sad. I'm almost 2 years in, and I just figured this out. Like, it's kind of sad, because I'm like, wow, like, kind of screwed up here, but I'm going to learn from it. But that was my share for today.
Katie, I don't think that any mistake is a true mistake, because you learn from it and you grow from it, and you're always where you're supposed to be in the moment that you are, you know.
Yeah.
So if you can look at it like that, and you can look at it like, well, how could I have known better up until this point? I didn't. And when you know better, you do better.
Yeah. So, I didn't even go on the call last Tuesday because I was so upset. Like, a lot of kind of what they say, the shit hit the fan over the weekend last weekend, in a really hard way. And yeah, and we're good now. Like the team is reforming, and we're going to be okay. But it was not a fun week. And anyways, I just wanted to share that tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing it. And you know what I would say too, because we only have a couple minutes left, but like the reason why I asked you what your why is in this season, and the reason why I got you guys to get clear on your Q2 goals, is because when shit does hit the fan, which it will, and it does inevitably, you can face it with a new perspective, you know, and you can face it with, okay, I'm ready to tackle this challenge, instead of, oh my God, this is going to drown me. It's just really important to change your perspective about it, because stuff happens all the time, you know, like I shared on the call yesterday, like last summer was so challenging for me. I literally, my only Star Diamond coach walked away. My best friend walked away from coaching, and I had to deal with that. And then I was like, well, I'm not a leader. I don't have a team to lead, you know. But when I switched that and I realized, oh, this is a we business, not a me business, and I really had to get clear on that, that's when everything changed. So just remember that it's a we business, you know, and your people come, you just got to keep showing up and just keep the faith. So anyways, thank you so much for listening to my raspy smoker voice tonight. I hope that some of this was valuable, and I love seeing all your faces. I would love to take a photo with you guys if you'd be willing. This is like the best group of people to ask that. I'm gonna take it. Ready? It's so awkward sometimes. Why is this recorded? Okay, thank you guys so much. I love you all. And I also just wanted to say a massive thank you, like truly gratitude from the depths of the cockles of my heart, for all of you who reached out yesterday and like tagged me in your stories, and all, like my heart was so full of love yesterday. I had cold, and I was like, fuck it, it doesn't even matter. I feel great. Like I feel great. I have the best tribe, and I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for being my tribe. Really appreciate every single one of you. So hope you have a fantastic week. Go kick ass. Go do the things that you need to do daily in order to hit your goals, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week.